Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing a very different kind of video. I'm doing a tutorial video right here on my main channel as opposed to the Shartimus Wing channel. Still want you to stay tuned on the Shartimus Wing channel though. Check the link in the description below. But yeah, well, we got SpiderMan right over here. This is the pizza SpiderMan figure. I saw Slings of Web actually did a video showing how you can actually make the articulation for these hip joints better by cutting into a bit of the plastic over here. So I wanted to do my take on this and show that. A link to Slings channel is in the description below. I remember Mr. Phil's brought this up to me too, but you could see that right here on the hip joint, there's that little half circle shape going on over there. It's definitely a little tricky to see, but right in that seam in the middle of it, there's that arch. So that plastic is supposed to be taken out so you can get more range of motion. Same thing on this side over here. You can see that same kind of half circle shape right up there at the top. So that's what we got to try to cut out on this. Now, the reason why I have the beautiful Ms. Marvel over here, and of course Spider-Man's like, oh my goodness, but you can't really do it all the way because his leg joints are kind of holding him back from doing the splits. I actually tried that on this figure over here. I thought maybe there might be the same thing going on. Didn't really seem like it. This is my second Ms. Marvel figure, and I actually cut into this hip joint right here to make her leg go out a bit farther, and you can see how this kind of looks a little bit weird because I didn't do it to this leg over here. And from the process of taking these hip joints off is actually very difficult. I saw Slings do it. He had an actual heat gun. I'm going to do it with the blow dryer, and I'm going to do it off screen, but I'm going to time how long I'm going to do it. And it does take some effort popping the legs off of these hip joints right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But first, so you can see how far this leg comes out as opposed to the right leg. I mean, could you even tell? You can tell a little bit, but you know, this one comes down a little bit after I go like that, but it's still goes out there a little bit more. So can't really do the trick on the Ms. Marvel. Slings used a Dremel, and I do have a Dremel, but I'm going to go ahead with the X-Acto knife right over here. And I remember he said specifically to not, try to cut into the bottom of this. You do want to just stick to cutting at the top over here. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot, and then we'll see how it turns out. So I did get the legs to pop off, but yeah, this little part where it connects did split on both sides, and I do get a little bit of a stress mark right there. Same thing with on parts of his butt, that's a little bit of a stress mark. So I'm going to go ahead and get this X-Acto knife cutting away on this thing, and I recommend any kids that are trying to do this, don't try to do it yourself. Ask an adult to help you with it. And the plastic is pretty firm in there, so getting a Dremel is actually probably going to be the best way to go with this. So I Dremeled these out with this little guy right over here, which I liked because it's kind of contoured to that shape that we were digging in here for, but it's a little sloppy looking. You can see a little bit extra plastic over here, so we gotta get that out of there. Now, one very important point that Slings made was that you do not want to cut into the red plastic. I forgot to mention that earlier. You don't want to hit any of the red plastic. Okay, so we can just pop these right back on over here and see how this goes if we get more articulation out of those hip joints. And it looks like we're getting some more over here. Let's see. Wow, actually, yeah, that's quite a bit more. And then we get the original one. And oh yeah, big difference. Just too bad while removing those pieces that I ruined the plastic, because now you can definitely see those stress marks on the newer modified one. Okay, so now you can really see the difference. Yeah, get a lot more movement out of this one right here. Wow, yeah, that's quite a bit of a difference. The only thing that really sucks though is the stress marks. Now you can really see them on this modified version. It's kind of a bummer that that's just there. I don't know, maybe you need to get some paint for that. And it does look a little ruggedy, so you may want to use a different bit or something a little bit smoother, I guess. But yeah, I really did have a hard time popping these off. You could really get them kicking up all the way, which I think is really cool. We couldn't do that before. Get them fully do the splits in the air. So I think that's pretty tight. Wow, yeah, get a lot more movement out of this. Oh yeah, we get much cooler. Oh, we get some much cooler Spidey poses like that. I think that's pretty cool. Thanks again to Slings of Web for getting the word out there on this little modification that you could do. I just wish I had taken a little bit more care, removing this, because now I actually really like how this came out. And yeah, so that's the only thing. So in the comments below, let me know your recommendations. If you've tried this before, if you're going to try it, what happens so that you prevent, the stress marking right over there on those hip joints. I may have to repaint that. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this little tutorial video. If you did, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button right over there. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.